Hello everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to another year. Welcome back to Network 27. I'm Alderman Walter Burnett. I want to thank everyone who helped us to put the show together. I'd like to thank all of you for watching Network 27. As you know, we come on every second and fourth Monday at 9 p.m. On CAN TV. The channel may be different in different areas, so make sure you look on your guide to find out where we are. I'd like to first of all thank everyone who helped us to pass out turkeys and hams to the senior citizens in the ward. I'd like to thank the Salvation Army, all of the precinct captains, all of the volunteers. We'd like to thank also all of the people who donated to us to allow us to be able to do this. We pass out thousands of turkeys or hams to people throughout the 27 ward. It's something that Jesse White has been doing for over 30 years. I've been doing it with him before I was alderman and since I've been alderman, and it's always a joy to be able to get somebody something, especially our senior citizens who may not normally get anything for the holidays. So again, thank everyone for their kind heart. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we still have our stepping going on. We still doing our stepping at the Salvation Army. I want to thank the Salvation Army for helping us to do the clean and sober stepping sets at the Salvation Army on the 800 block of Christiana. The next one is going to be in January. Call our office to find out the date. I can't remember it offhand. Also, senior citizens, we're getting ready for our senior citizen ball. This is an opportunity for you all to get dressed up. If you want to, you don't have to. Okay, so don't feel like you have to if you don't have anything to get dressed up in. Come, have a good time. We're going to dance. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to try to get a band, and we're just going to have a good time. And we're going to also cater some food. So to find out more information, call the office at 312-432-1995. As you know, for the senior buildings in our ward, we will have transportation for you, so you need to call the office to try to make sure you know when and where the transportation is going to come to. I know at our last event that 1633, they were very late picking you all up. Also, the folks at 318 South Troop. So I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna try and make sure they pick you all up first, so you don't miss out like you did at the bingo. Thank all of you all for coming into the bingo. We bingoed and raffled off over about $5,000 worth of things. So happy y'all were able to attend. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about higher education today. Higher education that's funded by the public. We have city colleges here in the city of Chicago. You can get a college degree at a reasonable rate. And there's a lot of unique things happening today with our city colleges. There's a lot of customized training. There's a lot of things that's being taught that's going to help folks actually get a job, not just get a certificate or get a degree. Today we have with us the Chancellor, the new Chancellor of the city colleges. He's not real new, but he is new. And this is my man, Juan Salgado. Thank you for coming, Juan.
Thank you for having me, Alderman.
We really appreciate you. So, Juan, how I like to always start the show off, I like for our guests to tell us who you are. So why don't you tell us who Juan Salgado is, and then tell us what's going on with city colleges.
Absolutely. Well, again, it's great to be here. I'm a young kid who grew up on 125th and Ashland Avenue on the south side of the city in a community called Calumet Park. And I like to tell people I got the benefit of so many worlds. I lived in a home with 6 brothers and sisters, 2 parents, 2 grandparents, and 4 to 6 uncles at any given time. And so, you know, we had to learn how to be in community. We had to learn how to share, but also had sort of a privileged life. My father always had a full-time job, and we owned a home. And those are 2 very important things for everybody to be able to have: meaningful work that's stable, that pays them a decent wage, and the ability to have a roof over your head that can give you that kind of stability. And so I'm very grateful. But I also grew up in a sort of a place that was changing. The place where I grew up, when my sisters who were a little older, it was a white community. When I was growing up, it was by and large a black community. And so I played a little Marin football, you know, I was a nice little running back there, ran on the track team, and, you know, got to know about communities and have been passionate all my life about how we ensure upward mobility and equal opportunity to advancement in society. That's my passion. That's what gets me up every day. That's why I'm at City Colleges today.
Fantastic. So Juan, so what high school did you go to?
I went to Dwight D. Eisenhower High School.
Okay, then you went on to go to college?
I did. I actually went to community college.
Okay.
That's why I'm a believer in community colleges. Yeah. I mean, community college was the place where I discovered my passion for learning. And actually all my brothers and sisters, we all went to community college. It was the only way that all 6 kids could all go to college was through community college. And so then I transferred, like a lot of our students at City Colleges do, to a 4-year university, Illinois Wesleyan University. I completed there. And then I transferred to a graduate program where I got a master's degree in urban and regional planning. So my background is in economics and in the study of cities and, you know, how do we ensure inclusive economic growth in our cities.
Fantastic. So Juan, I've known you for a long time, and I've always seen you as being sort of a community activist, right? Fighting for community rights, community stability, community advancement. Tell us about some of those experiences and some of those places you work with.
Yeah. Well, I started my career doing community organizing. That's why people may know me in that way. I just saw President Obama a few days ago when he was here in the summit, and we were sort of reminiscing on the importance of that experience of actually doing work in community as community organizing. And so I look at that with great memories. But I went from there to run an education institution, an institution that was working to open up schools for kids that are out of school youth, for young people looking to, you know, look for careers in healthcare. So we partnered with Malcolm X during my tenure there at the community-based organization called Instituto, and we helped adults that wanted to learn English or wanted to get a GED or wanted to get into a better occupation. And again, partnered with City Colleges and Malcolm X. I have a long history of working in education and leading education institutions, because at the end of the day, the fact remains that if we want a society where equal opportunity is available to everybody and that we're advancing, you know, those among us that you know, have the least today, then it's education that's going to get us, you know, to that promised land. And so that's why I've always focused on education as sort of the key to upward mobility.
So you're Latino?
I am.
What are you, Mexicano or?
Mexican.
Boricua, Mexican?
Mexican. My grandfather came here in 1918, worked the Rock Island Railroad, and my dad stuck around and was a Korean War veteran and worked steel mills.
Fantastic. So you know, so of course when you got appointed to this spot by the mayor, are you the first Latino Chancellor of City Colleges?
I believe that may be the case.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a big deal.
Thank you.
So one of the things that, of course, you took a African American female's place, Ms. Cheryl Hyman, and folks were concerned that you would only take care of Latinos, right? Those of us who know you, who know your activism and know that you fight for people who need help, regardless of their race, but you're very partial to African Americans.
That's right.
Well, you work with a lot of African Americans, but you said you grew up in the African American community, right? So you work, your organization worked for both.
That's right.
African American and Latino young people, and I'm sure if there was some white young folks that was in your community, you would have done the same for them.
Absolutely.
Right? So just tell us a little bit about your connection with the African American community.
It's actually been the source of inspiration for the work I do today. I actually don't talk too much about this, but when I was in graduate school, actually undergraduate, I had a friend whose mother raised her from East St. Louis, Illinois. So beyond growing up in an African American community, when I was studying in college, she took me to East St. Louis because I happened to have a little car, and she needed to see her grandmother, which was really her mother. And we spent some time there, and as a result of that, I decided to take on something called the volunteerism. And so I volunteered with a Methodist church and a Baptist church that were building a community institution, a community organization to respond to the needs in their neighborhood. And it's there where I really learned about hope and inspiration and what's possible even when everybody around you thinks it's impossible, right? And the people there, lots of things are said about East St. Louis. If you're not familiar with East St. Louis, it's right across from St. Louis. It's mostly African American community. And a lot of people have given up on it, but the people there didn't give up on it. The people there still believed and continue to believe that something beautiful, more beautiful than today, can actually exist, because there's a lot of beauty there right now, right? So we're working from a position of strength, and it's there where I decided that this is what my career was going to be about, right? It was going to be about being in these kinds of spaces. And by the way, I did lead a Latino servant institution for 16 years. But one of the things that we did is, we had a manufacturing hiring program. And in that manufacturing hiring program, we got over 4,000 people jobs over 8 years. And about 48% of the 4,000 people we got jobs were African American. If you go to that organization today, and you go in our manufacturing bridge program, the bridge program that's sending people to Richard J. Daley College, you'll find more than 50% of the students are African American males, by the way, because when you build value in community, you build it for everybody. You build it for everybody, and when you build it for everybody, it's good for a community, right? And so I'm very eager. One of the reasons why I wanted to become chancellor of City Colleges is the wonderful opportunity it gives me to sort of go back to my community, go back to my experience in East St. Louis, and do formidable work that advances all communities, but I'll say in particular the African American community. I have a laser focus. By the way, Alderman, I'll just say, we right now have more African American college presidents leading our colleges than City Colleges ever had, okay? There's 7 college presidents in total, 4 of them are African Americans. And it's not because they're African Americans, it's because they are immensely qualified to lead our institutions, to be a shining example for the success that our students have to see us, in critical positions, leading our institutions. And so our presidents, they're the people they see every day. They don't see me every day. It's important for them to see those examples of shining success every day on their campus.
Fantastic. So that's why when they appointed you, and some of my colleagues had concerns because you were Hispanic and you were replacing the African American, I was like, no, Juan is cool. He's not just one-sided. He takes care of everybody. So we're in good hands. And I know one of the first people you hired was one of Obama's folks, right?
Yes.
African American sister. She's your right hand.
Jen Mason.
Jen Mason, who used to work for Barack Obama.
That's right.
Right. So you all good. So I appreciate you. I want the audience to know that we have Juan Salgado. He's the Chancellor for City Colleges. And why don't you tell us about City Colleges?
City Colleges is the most important institution of higher education in the city of Chicago. There's just no other institution that is more important. And I say that because we have 83,000 plus students.
Wow.
Okay. And it's not just that those are large numbers, it's the treasures that each one of them are. Our students come from every part of Chicago. We have 7 campuses, right? They're in communities in our city. And our students are overwhelmingly African American and Latino, over 80% African American Latino. There's no single institution of higher education that has more Chicagoans in it and that has more African American and Latino learners in it. And the thing about our students is they persevere, they overcome. There are barriers, lots of barriers in their way, and yet they persist, and yet they continue, and yet they advance, right? And so when you see the grit and the determination, you know, when you see the resolve, when you see them, you know, banding together to support each other, you see the kind of community that Chicago, you know, can be in the future if we simply, you know, invest and care for them more, right? And so, you know, when I think about, you know, sort of city colleges, I think about if this city really wants to, you know, be that city that we can all be proud of. And I say, you know, there's some semblance of pride that we have right now, but there's a way that we have to go, right? Because to really wear our pride very strongly, we need to ensure that everybody in every community has a real shot at economic opportunity, and the institution that can help us ensure that is City Colleges of Chicago. That's why it's the most important institution, because it has, from my perspective, the most important people in that we're educating in our city.
So City Colleges is like the best deal in town, right? So it's much cheaper than the universities.
It absolutely is. So here's the value proposition, right, for anyone out there. Our tuition cost is $1,750 for a full load of courses. If you go to any other university around here for one semester, right, so for the year with books included, you're talking about a total of $4,000 all in. If you go to any other university around here, it's going to be more than double, close to triple. In some cases, in private institutions, 5, 6 times, 7 times the cost. And what we offer is an associate's degree. It's your first 2 years. The general education requirements that you're going to take at any 4-year university are the same ones you're going to take at city colleges. By the way, the instructors that you're going to be instructed by are people from Chicago largely, right? They're instructors that know you as a person and as a community. And so I think our curriculum is actually richer in some respects. But the great thing about it is when you transfer to these 4-year universities, if that's your choice, right, not only are you saving money, but your credits, we have agreements with these 4-year institutions, your credits transfer. So like me, you could start 2 years, save a lot of money, go to that 4-year university, finish your next 2 years off, and wind up with very little to no debt. Alderman, I graduated with less than $8,000 in debt. And I wasn't eligible. My dad had a job. I wasn't eligible for financial aid. It was community college that allowed me to do that. But by the way, so many of our students do qualify for financial aid. So here's the thing. If you qualify for financial aid, our tuition is so low that you won't pay a dime.
Right.
So it ends up being free for a lot of students, particularly those that, you know, qualify for financial aid. But if you don't qualify for financial aid, it's a really, really low cost. And then we have scholarship programs that I can tell you about too.
So, and I know that. I mean, I went to, well, I'm dating myself, but I went to Luke College, right?
Oh, wow.
So I went to Luke College, and I was trying to be an engineer. I was actually a draftsman at the time, and took a lot of my calculus and physics and all of those things at Luke College. And the funny thing is, one of my physics teachers, his name was DeVito. I don't know if he's still with you all, Dr. DeVito.
Dr. DeVito. I'll check on it.
Yeah, I think he's still with you all. But DeVito actually was an adjunct professor.
Okay.
He was actually a professor at IIT.
Okay.
And he was In the evening time, he was teaching calculus at Luke College. So I was getting the same education as the people at IIT, who was paying thousands of dollars, and I was paying a couple of $100s for the same class.
Yeah.
You know, and those classes transferred right over to UFC. You know, I just went right over there and finished up, right? I mean, so it's the best deal in town. And today I have a son, right? He's at a Jesuit school in New York. Tuition is about 70 grand a year.
Yeah. Woo.
70 grand a year, right? And if you can pay 4,000, or your tuition probably be no more than 20,000 a year, if not that much.
Yeah. No, it's 4,000 a year.
4,000 a year?
It's 4,000 a year. Let me be clear.
I feel like I'm getting cheated, man. You know what I'm saying?
4,000 a year for a full load.
Well,
roughly.
you know, but for some kids, you know, my son knew what he wanted to do, and he's doing it. You know, thank God he's doing well. But for a lot of kids, a lot of young people, I should say, those first 2 years, they really don't know what they want to do, right? And why would you gamble on all that money and you don't know what you want to do? You might as well spend the least amount as you can while you're trying to figure out what you want to do.
Yeah.
And take those basic courses. And then when you figure out what you want to do, the next 2 years, you can just transfer those credits over to a university.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Alderman. And one of the things we're learning, unfortunately, is we do have many students that go to four-year universities only to come back.
Come back to you.
They come back to us.
So you know, Chancellor, you all have a lot of great classes over there. I mean, well, you know, Malcolm X is in our ward, right?
Yep.
So, you know, of course, I'm very partial to Malcolm X.
And you should be.
I mean, it's a great building. We built a new Malcolm X. It's state of the art. You all have a relationship with the universities, Rush and U of I, and they actually help to write curriculum, right? They try to make sure our curriculum is in line with their curriculum, so it's an easy transition from Malcolm X to U of I, UFC. Is it UFC and also Rush?
UIC.
UIC
yeah,
and Rush.
Rush, yeah.
Right, so it's just like automatic, right? They set those credits and you can go right over there. And they write the curriculum so they know you in line not only with the university, you're in line with those hospitals.
That's right.
Right? Rush Hospital and UFC Hospital, right? Or UIC Hospital. So which is a unique thing. So that's some customized training that's going on over there at Malcolm X. But Malcolm X has a medical program. Why don't you tell us some of the programs at Malcolm X and then some of the programs at some of the other schools, or the other 7 or other 6?
So I think the key to understanding how City Colleges works is to understand what you were speaking about a moment ago. You know, we are excellent at what we do. Okay, we are building centers of excellence to continue our excellence at what we do. So look at Malcolm X, and here's the reality. If you enter into our associates in nursing program, right now our pass rate is 95%.
Wow.
Okay, so not only do we have a curriculum that's been developed with a partnership with industry, not only do we have the articulation agreements with the four-year universities, but with a 95% pass rate, when you get into our space, you're going to succeed as long as you put in the work, right? And you know, for our students to know that, to understand that they're at a very high quality, it's not just a low-cost institution. We want to be and continue to be low-cost to make it accessible because we know how hard it is for families out there, right? And so, you know, many families, you know, even if their child wanted to go, as yours as wanted to go to a different university, just can't, right? And so we want to be accessible, but the fact of the matter is we are both, you know, affordable and high quality, and Malcolm X is a shining example of that. I mean, we have a whole host of allied health programs, so it's not just about nursing programming, but you have, you know, mortuary science, and you have dental hygienists, and, you know,
And
you have
mortuary
community
science
health.
is to be able to work in a
Funeral homes,
right.
and, you know, embalming,
Right.
and we have many students, and an important industry.
That's right.
Yeah, very important industry. And our pass rates in almost all of those allied health fields, 100%. So again, you get in here, you're going to get high quality, and as long as you put in the work, you're going to get the results. And that's why I said, when you said you're very proud of Malcolm X, you know, Alderman, you have a lot to be proud of. And I know how much work you put in. This was before my time, that Malcolm X, the vision, the actual construction, the work with the employers. This doesn't just happen because City Colleges says we want it to happen. It happens because aldermen support us, because you actually go out and you talk to Rush and you talk to UIC and you say to them, work with our city colleges, right? Because let's be frank, sometimes the employers and sometimes the four-year universities, they're still learning how valuable our community is. They're still working on opening doors. And so we need to get those doors to open wider, right? We need to get more and more students to be able to go through these employers. And it's because of, you know, leaders like you that, you know, open up those doors and help make Malcolm X possible. That's a community effort.
Yeah, and I can't take all the credit. The mayor plays a big part in that too. He's very focused on customized training and making sure folks not only get a career but get a job also.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things going on in Malcolm X. So we know Malcolm X have the medical programs. I know Malcolm X also in the medical program, you all have like a state-of-the-art physical therapy, right?
We do.
Area where you had the pools and all of that equipment that they have that some of the hospitals don't even have. You know, it's like you all have the most modern equipment that you could ever have there with the pools and showing people how to get back in shape after they've been injured and things like that.
Yes.
So I know you all have that over there. Also, a lot of people sleep on city colleges. Y'all have a dynamic recreational area, a gym.
We do.
So you all have sports at city colleges too.
Sports is vibrant at city colleges.
So y'all have like basketball teams.
We have basketball teams, we have soccer teams, we have baseball teams.
And you all compete.
We absolutely compete.
And folks can play sports at your school, and maybe when they transfer to another school, end up playing sports at those schools too.
That's happening as we speak. I mean, our athletes.
But a lot of folks don't look at city colleges as a place to play sports, you know what I'm saying, as a place to be a gateway to go to another institution and play sports.
Yeah, Alderman. I think we can do a better job in that.
You all don't get on TV and you don't get all of the publicity that the major universities get.
Yes. Well, yeah, I think we could do a better job of that. I think creating awareness about our sports teams, highlighting our student athletes and their success, both academically as well as when they do earn scholarships to four-year universities, and just the richness of athletics on our campuses. By the way, our athletes perform academically better than the general population. So, I don't want anybody to walk away thinking that athletics at city colleges is just about performing, on the court, right?
I guess.
Athletics at city colleges, when you look at our athletes, you're looking at high-performing academic students that also do really well in sports.
But athletes need to know that they have a choice at city colleges also.
They absolutely do.
So they should look at city colleges
and it's
too.
growing.
And save some money.
And save some money.
That's right. And possibly get recognized.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. And our leader of athletics, Cyril Nichols, ensures too that we have sporting for both male and females in equal proportions, so that we're really creating a vibrant sporting experience and athletic experience for men and women alike.
Fantastic. So before we get on to the other institutions that you have, the other 6, so you all have a program. I know that initially there was a program with all of your public housing in the city where you had a relationship with CHA, where public housing students could go to city colleges.
Yes.
Public housing high school students graduating could go to city colleges, right?
Yes.
For free.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
So public housing students can go to city colleges for free for any of these curriculums or programs that you all have going on.
We have a partnership with the CHA that this year got renewed by the CHA. They've actually increased the amount of resources towards the partnership because of the success that we've actually had. The fact of the matter is, if you're a CHA resident and want to enter into city colleges, you know, not only will you get the tuition assistance, but you know, we also have specific supports available for those learners and those students so that they can progress. And I'll tell you something that's really interesting. Our CHA residents that are going to city colleges, you know, are doing better than the general population academically that comes in through our doors.
Wow.
And what it proves, right?
Don't matter where you come from.
It doesn't matter where you come from.
Or how much money you have.
Or how much money you have. But what does matter is how much supports are available. And the thing that differentiates city colleges from many other colleges is that we have tutoring centers and wellness centers. We have an advisor for every 300 students. In the CHA program, it's even more intensive, the advising. But you know, we're there for our students. We have disability centers and veteran centers. And so we're there for our students in ways that another college might say, well, you know, if they do well, if they don't, you know, so what, right? They just go unnoticed. For us, it's no, we are going to do everything we can to ensure that students will succeed.
So the mayor took that to another level. He said, okay, we do this for CHA residents. We need to do this for all of Chicago public school students. And tell us about that program.
Well, I think it's important to say that the mayor, as it relates to city colleges, the mayor's taken lots of things to a whole nother level, right? I mean, the College to Careers initiative, when we talked about Malcolm X, you know, that in a lot of ways is the mayor's vision, where CCC is executing it. But one thing in particular that he is so proud of and has a lot of reason to be proud of is the Chicago Star Scholarship. You know, it was his vision, his idea that any high school student at a Chicago public school that graduates with a B average and is near college ready would get the opportunity to come to city colleges for free. No tuition, no book fees. You go for free. You have 3 years to complete a 2-year degree. And not only that, but we have now lined up 20 institutions of higher education, 4-year universities, UIC, Northwestern, Loyola, DePaul, I can go on. It's basically University of Chicago. It's every institution in Chicago, Marquette, and some that are out of Chicago like Marquette. And what they have done is said, we're going to discount our tuition. And in some cases, provide additional scholarships. So that if you're a Chicago Star Scholar, you get your first 2 years for free, you get your second 2 years at a discounted rate. You get your bachelor's degree you know, at a cost that was unthinkable to your parents. And it's up to the student. You can do this for yourself. You can do this to help your family. You can do this to propel your career. The thing you have to do, this is really important, you gotta work hard in school. You've gotta perform. And you've gotta do it right away. You know, 9th grade matters.
So it sounds like Chicago Public Schools is a good deal.
Chicago Public Schools is a great deal.
If you get a good grade in Chicago Public Schools, you get to go to college for free.
Absolutely.
That's a good deal.
It's a good deal. But we gotta get our students. And if our students here listening, or parents, the best predictor of a B average in 12th grade is a B average in 9th grade. Okay? So those 8th graders going to 9th grade, you got to start strong, finish strong. Start strong, finish strong. We're here to receive you. The mayor's got a program, and I want to get that message out.
So how many STAR students did you have this year?
Well, right now, as we speak, we have over 3,000 in our colleges.
Wow.
Okay? We've had over 4,000 come through the program already. And from our perspective, there's no limit to how many we'll take.
That's great.
It's open to any student from Chicago Public Schools that graduates from high school with the B average and near completion ready. And so we're ready to receive any one of those students that meet that particular criteria.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So while we don't have a lot of time left, so I want everyone to know all of the resources and opportunities that you have in all of your other institutions. So why don't you tell us about some of your other institutions and what they're doing there?
So we have Harold Washington College that's in the Loop that focuses on business and finance, but it has a wide offering as well. Daly College on the southwest side focuses on engineering and advanced manufacturing. Kennedy King in Inglewood that focuses on culinary and hospitality. We have Olive Harvey further south, focused in on transportation, distribution, logistics. Logistics is a big industry. Talk about Amazon and all the jobs that Amazon has, that's logistics. It's not just truck driving, okay? It's a broader range of careers. And of course, we have information technology at Wilbur Wright College on the northwest side and education at Truman College on the north side. But I want to point out that my belief is that while we have these centers of excellence in these different colleges located across our city, we're going to be able to do IT out of Malcolm X and IT out of Kennedy King. Just because we have a center of excellence in one part of the city doesn't mean we can't bring programming to a college in another part of the city. And that's sort of a new course that I'm taking as Chancellor because I see the growing industries.
Yeah, and IT is moving here strongly.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that everybody in our city has a full opportunity. But I don't want to lose the opportunity right now either to make sure that prospective students know they can register, right, for courses. We have a spring enrollment right now. It closes right now. It closes for our 16-week courses. It closes September 12th. So just potentially in a few days.
No.
But also we have a registration that closes on February 5th.
Right.
For our 12-week courses. So January 12th for our 16-week courses and February 5th for our 12-week courses. And if you're interested, students can call 773-COLLEGE or they can visit our website at ccc.edu.
So tell me, Chancellor, so that's great. All of these different programs that you have at these 7 institutions, just like Malcolm X have a partnership with U of I, or UFC, or UIC, and Rush, your other institutions have relationships with other industries, right?
We do.
And you pretty much are doing sort of like customized training at all of these places so that folks can have a direct line toward being able to get employed. Can you name some of the other private institutions that have a partnership with some of your other institutions?
Yes, I can. We have a lead partner at almost every one of our colleges. When you go to Harold Washington, our lead partner is Aon. They have piloted an apprenticeship program.
For insurance?
Their insurance, where we currently have students that are actually in a job while they're in school, earning over $30,000 a year while they're earning credits towards their graduation. We have a similar partnership with Accenture in information technology. We're working with Snap-on Tools.
Is that over at Wright?
Well, the information technology is over at Wright. But actually the internships and apprenticeships are, in many cases, downtown.
Okay.
They're at the place of business. So Accenture's here downtown. Our students are coming here downtown. Aon's here downtown. The Center of Excellence is at Wright College, but the opportunities to access those employment opportunities are here or wherever those places of business are. In manufacturing, we're working with lots of small and medium-sized employers because that's the way the industry is organized. But we're working with the tool manufacturer that produces the actual machinery that those students use.
So that's at Daly College?
That's at Daly College. And in the world of logistics, which is at Olive Harvey College, we work with a number of employers, UPS and FedEx and Echo Logistics and several others that are actually growing as well. There's not a lot said about transportation, distribution, and logistics, but it's one of the fastest growing industries with the most jobs.
They're starting to do transportation like Uber over the internet. Like if you need a truck, you can get a truck now like you can get an Uber car.
Yeah.
To haul your stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's becoming logistics and transportation at the same time.
Yes.
It's mixing up. So the technology part, the IT part you're talking about is very important.
Yeah.
So also at Kennedy King College, I know that you all are sort of sponsored by the Restaurants Association.
We are.
They work real closely with
They
you
work
all.
incredibly closely with us. And we have Washburn Culinary and Hospitality Institute. It's the oldest culinary institute in the country, okay? And so several of the owners of restaurants in Chicago have actually graduated from Washburn, and that's why we have so much support from the Chicago Restaurant Association.
And they're connected with Kennedy King College.
They are very connected with Kennedy King. And of course in education at Truman, you know, our primary employer in education is actually Chicago Public Schools.
Chicago Public Schools, so they become a school teacher.
That's right.
That's
They become primary, preschool, or elementary or high school.
Also, you have, there's one more that we're missing.
Did I miss one?
Say Kennedy King,
Well,
Wright.
Well, I missed Malcolm X.
You said Malcolm X. You said Dawson.
Oh, well, yeah, so
Dawson.
I forgot to talk about that. Dawson is part of Kennedy King.
Is Dawson part of Kennedy King?
Ten-
But it's
Dawson's
separate,
but
separate
you know,
building.
but I failed to talk about, it is a separate building, and I failed to talk about the fact that its programming is in construction.
Right.
And its programming is in a partnership with ComEd, where we train in the line worker program. We also have a partnership with People's Gas, where we train for some of their meter jobs. And the thing that's incredible about Dawson is that in many cases, these are shorter term training programs and job preparation programs that lead to immediate job availability with these employer partners. On my first day, Alderman, I met a young woman, Candace Walker, at Dawson. And obviously she stood out because in construction, it's a male-dominated field.
Right.
She was the only female in the class. I went up to talk to her. She started the class in January. This was May 1st. And 1 month later, she completed the course. So I called her up to see how she's doing. She had a job.
Fantastic.
Making $60,000 a year.
Praise God.
Started in January, no job. 2 children. By June, a job paying $60,000 a year, rehabbing homes in Chicago.
Praise God.
Yeah, and so that's the beauty of Dawson. I'm so glad you know, you jogged my memory about the important institution that's part of City Colleges.
Fantastic. So Chancellor, tell us, so you're the Chancellor of City Colleges. You have all of these students. How many employees do you have?
It's over 4,500 employees.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But there, can I share?
Sure.
This is really important. I brought this because last week we had recognition for our advisors. Mm-hmm. And these are the words of our students about their advisors. And so I want people in our communities to understand the quality of the people that are working for us. And maybe I'll just, because, because your ward is close to Malcolm X, I'll share. This is written by a student about one of our advisors. I would like to nominate Brian Hall as a great advisor. He never once doubted my capabilities and always had the motivating words I needed to hear. Although he might think he is just doing what he was hired to do, Mr. Hall has a great attitude and enthusiasm that keeps students motivated and believing in themselves. Mr. Hall is an amazing individual who deserves recognition.
Right,
and I can go on and on and on. We had 600 submissions from students, about their advisors and the power that their advisors have had on their lives. And so when you think about a City Colleges of Chicago employee, when you think about a City College of Chicago experience, you only need to talk to our students that are putting in the work, that are at our colleges today, and they will tell you that there's just no better place to be, if you want to get ahead and you're from Chicago, than to be in one of our colleges.
That's great. I think that's fantastic. So tell me this, Chancellor. So for guys who come home from being incarcerated,
Ooh.
So there's a misnomer out there that they can't go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, and then at one time they were saying that they can't get grants to go to school. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Is that true or no?
I am putting together a team
And
as we speak.
I shouldn't say just guys, but guys and girls,
Yeah.
right?
Here's the important thing that we need to do as an institution is every returning citizen, and I would just say not just the returning citizen, but the citizen that's heading into prison and the family that's around them, right, as well as the ones that are coming back. We need to ensure as a city college system that they know one thing. They have an educational home. There is a place that is going to embrace them and is going to work through any barrier and is going to work with lots of stakeholders to figure out how we remove barriers, right? And that institution is City Colleges of Chicago. I've been saying this, I've been here for 6 months, I've been saying this for 6 months. I am going to work extremely hard to make sure, I went to Cook County Jail already, I'll be going back. I want to make sure that every returning citizen knows they have an education home. And there's no other institution that is set up like we are to be able to work with our returning citizens. There are barriers. I don't yet know the full extent of those barriers. I do know this. I'm bringing together a group of people that can help us figure out how do we ensure that we remove those barriers. Because quite frankly, we haven't been as focused today on being the educational home for returning citizens that I believe we can be.
So we got about 10 minutes left. So piggybacking off of that, GEDs.
Yes.
Do you teach GED?
We absolutely do.
So do you teach it at city colleges? Do you also teach it in other areas?
Yes, both.
You fund them, so
That's
you
right.
fund GED programs.
That's correct.
Across the city.
That's correct. 30,000, when I said we had 83,000 students, about 30,000 of those students are actually adults, young adults, working adults, and those adults are in our adult basic education programs as well as our GED programs.
Also, because we got a few minutes, you do English as a second language?
We do. We do English as a second
But
language.
not just Latino folks.
Oh, absolutely.
For
For everybody.
Everybody.
For everybody.
Right?
For everybody.
Okay. Also, you all do other programs, other classes, don't you? I think you did do this. I don't know if you still do. Like, you may have like a yoga class. You may have other kind of adult educational classes going on.
Yeah. It's called continuing education.
Continuing education.
Continuing education.
You do a lot of continuing education
Yeah.
across the city where people can pay a couple of dollars to go take a course and learn something.
Absolutely. Continuing education is life enhancing.
So this is like a one-stop shopping, second chance, decide you want to do something type of institution.
Yeah, well, it's a community institution.
It's a community college.
It's
for
a
the
community.
It's a neighborhood college.
It's a community college.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Chancellor, I want to thank you very much for coming on to the show.
Thank you, Alderman.
I hope people take advantage of this. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities here. And if you can't get a job right away, go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Get education. Some things you can learn. I don't know if you all do real estate licenses, insurance licenses, financial service licenses. I know private institutions like Kaplan got those kind of courses, but those courses get immediate jobs. If you're not doing that, I think you should look at that.
Yeah, please keep giving us feedback. I'm very open-minded and look forward to delving deeper and deeper into what we're doing and how we could do it better.
I think you all are doing a great job. I feel confident and secure that you're in this position and that you're going to try to make sure everybody get an education.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Alderman. All
Muchas
right.
gracias, man.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
you for coming on the show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching Network 27. I'd like to thank our guest, Juan Salgado, the new Chancellor of Chicago City Colleges. We appreciate you coming on the show. Look forward to all of the great things that you're going to be doing. Thank you very much. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for watching Network 27. Happy New Year. This is going to be a great year. It's a good way to start off your year. Set those goals, go to school, get an education, get another job, change your career, do something extra with your time. If you want to learn how to cook, if you want to learn a different language, go to city colleges. God bless you all, and thank you, and we'll see you next month.